The Absheron occupies the vast peninsula surrounding Baku. Away from the frenetic pace and modernity of the capital city, the Absheron has historically been a fulcrum of tradition and conservatism, and is perhaps best known today for its connection with oil. Travellers visiting the Absheron are most likely to follow well-trodden paths to the petroglyphs of Gobustan, the fire-worshipping temple of Atashgar, and the ancient town of Gala. But the idea behind this feature is to show you some less obvious places to explore. So here are our 7 secrets of the Absheron. So we're here today at the Sabunchu railway station. The reason why I consider this a secret of the Absheron is that it's actually a very historic place. In 1880, the first railway line in Azerbaijan was launched here. It linked Baku, Sabunchu and Surakhany, Baku with the oil regions. In 1926, the first electric train in the Soviet Union, otherwise called the Elektrichka, was also launched along this line. These trains then became an essential means of commuter transportation, ferrying passengers to and from cities throughout the USSR. Throughout the Soviet period, Elektrichkas used to run throughout the Absheron Peninsula, so down here all the way to the Caspian coast. One of the first things you notice when you come to a place like this is the smell of oil in the air. Indeed, at the end of the 19th century, this historic railway was built in order to transport the oil from places like Sabunchi, Surakhany, Ballakhany to Baku, and that's what fueled the development of modern Baku. Not far from Sabunchu station and the surrounding oil fields is Ramana Castle. Built by the Shivan Shahs in the 14th century, this was once part of a network of fortifications spanning the peninsula. You can find others at Mardakan, Nardaran and Gala. But the beauty of the Ramana Castle is the setting, which overlooks oil fields once belonging to the Nobel brothers, and also the fact that there's often no one here. One thing not to forget when you come to the Ramana Castle is the key. If you ask anybody here, they'll point you in the right direction. Once you've got it, the castle is all yours. The Absheron's association with oil has been extremely well documented. Less well known is that salt has been collected from lakes on the Absheron for centuries and exported to the likes of Russia and Iran. Today, however, following almost 2 centuries of oil extraction, salt is only now extracted from a couple of lakes, one of which is Lake Masazyr. In summer months, when the water level drops, you can see some locals venturing out to collect salt, and others who come to bathe in the hope of curing skin diseases or leg pains. No exploration of the Absheron would be complete without mentioning something of its cuisine. When you mention Jorat, one of the first things that comes to mind are qutabs. Generally in Azerbaijan, qutabs, very well known, are these sort of large pancakes filled with herbs or meat or cheese. But as you can see, the Jorat variety are very different. They're sort of smaller, thicker and moon-shaped. But the really special thing is that they tend to be made from camel meat. Now I've never tried them before, so I'm going to try them now and I'll see what they taste like. In truth, it was hard to distinguish camel meat from ordinary beef, but Jorat qutabs are very tasty and certainly worth trying for the novelty value alone. During the oil boom of the late 19th century, wealthy oilmen like Zeynalabdin Taghiyev, Shamsi Asadullayev and Murtuza Mukhtarov built extravagant country houses or dachas in Mardakan. Their fates have been remarkably intertwined with modern Azerbaijani history. When the Bolsheviks came to power in 1920, these dachas were confiscated and converted into sanatoriums, some of which still function today. We went to have a look around the best remaining example, the Dendra Park, a botanical garden which was once the country home of oil baron Murtuza Mukhtarov.
Еще я слышу, что некоторые бывшие дачи стали санаториями.
Да, это правда. Не то, что санаторий, больницы там, санатории, да. Только эту от нас пока что не отняли, и это мы сохраняем. Но есть такие дачи миллионеров-магнатов, их не сохранялись. Вы, наверное, сами видели. А мы, благодаря нашего директора, да, он сохраняется, что когда гости приходят из разных стран, вот, занимаются, вот, им интересна история Азербайджана, и можем показать, да, это был можно сказать, дача. Вы посмотрите, это было построено готиком, стиль готика. Видите, как итальянский как говорится.
То есть вот это оригинальный фасад?
Да, это оригинальный фасад, вот такой же, да.
Also in the Dendra Park is a small museum to Russian poet Sergey Yesenin. who stayed here several times in the early Soviet period and wrote his famous poem Persian Motifs, which was inspired by the exoticism he discovered in Azerbaijan. For the next secret, we've come to a holy place on the Absheron Peninsula in Mardakan called Pir Hassan. We've come to experience something called Chilldag. We're going to go and try that now. Nobody knows the precise origins of Chilldag. It is a folk medicine procedure used to treat trauma or anxiety and involves stubbing little cigar-shaped rolls of cloth into certain parts of the body. The idea is to get your blood flowing and your nerve system working properly. Pir Hassan is just one of many pirs or holy places on the Absheron Peninsula. In some cases these are just rocks or trees rather than small temples, but altogether they reflect the strong traditions and traces of ancient culture found on the Absheron. Feeling surprisingly re-energized after Chilldag, we set off for another unique spot on the Absheron. So here we are at the next secret of the Absheron, the island of Pirallahi, an island with a very unique culture and history, and we've come to find out about it. In Soviet times, the island was called Artyom after a Bolshevik revolutionary nicknamed Comrade Artyom. Prior to this, habitation began when the Nobel brothers arrived in the 1860s, as Fazil Mamadov, head of the Pirallahi Elders Council and a long-time Pirallahi resident, explained.
В 1861 году нобелевские братья интересовались, приезжали сюда, начали добывать на море нефть. Построили здесь дома, много, нобелевские братья очень много от красного кирпича построили дома и добывали нефти, и стал индустрия развиваться на острове Артема. При Советском Союзе тоже стали индустрии развиваться и здесь, стали добывать нефть на море стали добывать, и много здесь построили дома, жили здесь рабочие и все. После советской власти здесь жили и украинцы, азербайджанцы, русские, много очень русские жили здесь. Потом татары жили, лезгины жили, и другие много национальностей много жили здесь.
You won't find any museums or art galleries on Pirallahi, but its dramatic landscapes, intriguing history and slightly otherworldly feel make it an interesting place to visit. So here we are in the easternmost point of Azerbaijan. This is the Absheron National Park. With the Absheron increasingly becoming a suburban extension of Baku, the Absheron National Park feels like one of the last patches of genuine wilderness on the peninsula. There's some interesting wildlife here too, although to see it you have to be lucky. The park is home to wolves, gazelles, wild boar and lots of bird life. Caspian seals can also sometimes be spotted at the tip of the peninsula. The one hazard is that from April onwards lots of snakes appear, so watch where you tread. So those are our 7 secrets of the Absheron. It's by no means an exclusive list, but hopefully it might encourage you, whether you're living in Baku or just visiting, to head out and explore beyond the city.